Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Niche Podcast. I'm Jessie.
Yolanda.
I'm Kristen.
And we are so excited to be back. We are going to talk about Universal today, which I know we don't do very often, but we have some serious Universal love right now.
I feel passionate about it.
Their summer stuff, all their Epic Universe stuff.
Yeah.
It has been brought in.
Are so excited. We were just talking about it, and Yolanda's like, hit record. And I was like, oh, let me do that. So, what do you guys want to start with?
Let's start with the preview center.
I was going to say, there's like three things that opened up for this summer. And it was the preview center, DreamWorks Land, the new parade, and the new Sensational show at night.
Yes.
So, and there's a Harry Potter show as well at night, but that's smaller show.
Let's start with the preview center because we were just explaining
we'll focus on the core four here.
Yeah.
The core four.
Yolanda has not been to the preview center.
No.
Me and Kristen have. Yes, you're probably going today, which
On today.
I'm
good luck
so
to you,
excited for you to go.
you're going to freak out about a preview center.
Yeah.
Well, what?
That's what we were saying before we hit record is they didn't even skimp out on their preview center. They
I thought it was
brought
just
it.
a store. I thought it was a store.
Yeah, no.
It is. They have like merchandise for sale for each of the lands that they've announced and for Wizarding, whatever Ministry of Magic. They haven't announced any details for really yet, but so they have cool merch done there because we all have a shopping problem.
Like pre-merch. Like they have merchandise. Pre-merch. They have merchandise that says Dark Universe, Nintendo, Ministry of Magic. Like stuff that's not released yet. Like there's a toothless loungefly. Like it is pre-merch. I have already bought merch for Epic Universe and it's not even open yet.
Yeah.
I do kind of love that.
Jessie and I were saying too for work, we were like, well, we should probably do like an Epic Universe giveaway because there's already like merch. Like,
you can already buy stuff that says Epic Universe.
That way you're ready. That way people have stuff to wear to the park. They're smart,
Yep.
Well, that's not even the pièce de résistance. Speaking my very
apparently the store is
French
interactive, and I need to see this.
Yes, the model that they have is interactive. So, like, you download the app on your phone, look through your little lens, and it's like the model comes alive.
Yep.
Which I'm obsessed.
So I was going around looking at all the merchandise, and I see all these people around the model. I was looking at the model as I was looking at the merchandise, right? And all these people are like pointing their phones, and I was like, what the heck are they doing? Why are they pointing their phones everywhere? I finally walked up to the front of the model, and it says, scan this QR code. And I was like, okay, great. Let me scan a QR code, right? It brings you to an Epic Preview Center app. It is their own app. It is not a third-party app. It is their own app. You download their app. It says, welcome to Epic Preview Center. And then it shows you...
And it works, by the way. The Wi-Fi doesn't give you a hard time when you're trying to download it.
It shows you where to point your camera.
Just going to say.
And you go around to each land of Epic Universe model, and it shows you what is going to be happening.
Yeah.
I love that.
Inside. The only one it doesn't show you right now is Ministry of Magic.
Which is smart.
That's because it's not released yet.
Yeah.
So they are releasing it on their app at the preview center in City Walk
when
they're releasing it. Yeah.
Which, like, putting the money into creating an app for Preview Center.
Wow. Like,
just, you
pointed at Dark Universe, you can literally see the fire
ride
wheel. And you can see inside the ride. Yep, both. You can point it at the ride. It shows you a piece of the ride, what the ride's going to look like. The fire wheel, oh my God.
Windmill, yeah.
Windmill.
We had like kind of that for like Communicore. Remember how they had like what new Epcot was gonna look like, but then they took it
weird. It wasn't really like a model, right? It was just like
it was like a.
It was like a
I don't know
screen.
what that was.
It was a screen.
Yeah.
It was a screen. It was nothing like. It was nothing.
And then
projection. It was nothing like this.
But it wasn't like a model of what was to come because again, they already knew that they weren't doing what they said they were going to do.
I think that's why they had to close it, honestly, and use it as a festival center. I think that's why they had to take it down.
Yeah.
I think it had like different things in it. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was
Rocket would come and do some songs. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Anyways, but this is not that. This is interactive.
Not that.
This is an actual real life model that gives you an idea of what it's like.
The coaster. Like how you're gonna go on the coaster.
I'm so excited.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
I was like, what?
My kids
I was like screen recording.
Like
so cool.
We went to Universal last week as a family, and my kids were like, we could have only gone to the preview center, and my children, who are children, 9 and 6, almost 7 and 10, we could have spent all day in there.
Like had a
blast.
All day.
Just looking at the model through my phone.
Yep. Yeah. Literally. And they have like the portals inside. You can take photos in front of the portals.
I love that they already have like photo walls and stuff, like, because they're doing the right thing in terms of like getting people more like people are already excited. But
their marketing department,
I like that they're like
top notch.
I like that you can already kind of consume it. You can already kind of be there.
Yeah,
you know,
you can visualize yourself doing the things. You like have FOMO already, and it's not even open yet.
It's not even built yet.
They have their marketing team. Genius, like
above and beyond.
Honestly, like, their marketing and social team is really great. Like,
so good.
Not even front. They're great.
I thrive to be them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're good, but like they are like.
I love whenever their marketing team like responds to any like, because I always tag, Jessie and I tag them when we do stuff for work, and whenever they respond or whatever, I'm always like, tee.
Did you see their thread the other day? This has nothing to do with anything, but it made me laugh. It was a thread, and it said, "If the Earth is flat, explain this." And it was just a picture of the universal ball, and it had me dying. I was like, "That's hysterical."
Yeah,
and
that's great,
genius. Okay, they're really funny. And then like
so
when
simple.
When they, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a reel when they hadn't released the summer stuff yet, and he went up to Bruce, the Jaws shark, and he was like, "Sharks, I'm asking for," and it was so funny. He did like the Shark Tank spiel to Bruce.
Yeah,
genius.
And they filmed it from inside Bruce's head, so we were looking out through the teeth. I was like,
I saw that.
That's comedy, like that.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's so good. Funny.
They're not like, phoning it in. They're there. They're like,
it's funny. Like, they get what the people want to see. It's funny.
They understand the assignment. So
good.
Are we going DreamWorks Land, or are we going like DreamWorks Land?
Let's go. Let's do DreamWorks Land.
DreamWorks Land. Yo, you didn't go to DreamWorks Land yet, though, right?
No, but I am somebody who's watched a ton of videos. Is what I am, because I spend a lot of time on YouTube, honestly.
We went with my kids, but we didn't really do much because they went back to the like panda area, the Kung Fu Panda area, and they just wanted to be like running through the fountains.
Which I love for you as a parent, because did you just get to sit?
Ding 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 ding.
I love
ding,
that.
In the shade. They have umbrellas with benches under them. So you can
and in the panda area in the back, it's all covered. And there's fans.
Yeah.
Fans?
Like full on ceiling.
Living.
Yeah.
Ceiling fans.
I also, before we get into the parts of DreamWorks Land, I would like to say that this took Universal 8.5 months. That's it. That's all it took them.
And they did redo it. They recycled like the coaster.
Curious George.
They recycled like the Curious George area, but they did build new stuff too. So
new food, new menus,
I was going to say the Curious George area. I mean, they kind of recycled it, but it's very different.
It's very different.
Very different. And then the Kung Fu Panda area on the back. I don't know if you guys remember, we're in there, but it was like that ball throwing area with like, the stairs and the top.
Yeah.
They got rid of all of that.
Yeah, that's all gone.
None of that exists anymore.
And now you can it's like an interactive with Poe, right?
And that's the part that's completely covered with the ceiling fans.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it's like Turtle Talk with Crush, but it's great because there's no line for it. It's just a show that pops up every 10, 15 minutes, and you can kind of come and go as you please. So you could definitely have your kids sitting up front, or you could just kind of pop in and look at it, get some air conditioning, because they do have the air back there a little bit. It is cooler.
Yeah.
And then you can pop out and do whatever. So my kids kind of ran in there and saw what was going on, and then they were like, I'd rather be in the fountain. So then they came out and got soaking wet.
But I think it's a much smarter setup for families to have something that, we don't have to commit to it. We can go see what it's about.
100%.
100.
Go see.
My kids,
were the noodle bowls open yet? Like the spinners?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
So that was my kid's only complaint, is you have to have shoes on in that noodle bowl spin area, and I made them take their shoes off to play in the fountain, obviously, because nothing is worse than sweaty, gross
wet
sneakers.
Shoes.
So they couldn't kind of toggle back and forth between that.
Okay. I have to get them water shoes.
Yeah, I will.
Or like my Croc sneakers.
Yeah,
that makes sense actually that they couldn't go
next
between.
Time, because that's pro tip. Bring a change of clothes. I didn't, just because my kids aren't babies anymore, so I generally don't need to worry about a diaper blowout anymore.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't dawn on me to bring extra clothes, and I don't bring a stroller anymore. So
No.
I don't have a place to like store extra
You have to
things.
carry everything now?
Yeah.
I hate that.
I don't love it. I literally would have another baby just to, I don't want any more kids, but I would absolutely have another baby to prolong my stroller usage in the park.
Yeah.
I love it.
Did they like the Shrek playground or they like the water more?
So we didn't even get over to the Shrek playground because we spent so much time in the water area.
Love that.
And then Hunter wanted to go on the roller coaster. Harper did not, so I waited with Harper. Jamie took Hunter on the roller coaster.
Very nice.
So like they did that. We did get Trolls ice cream.
Which looks so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good too.
It was
the
really good.
Huckleberry is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like,
So good.
Huckleberry? What does Huckleberry taste like?
I like
so
the
pretty.
pink lemonade
Like-
one was like,
The pink lemonade was good, but I preferred the Huckleberry.
I preferred the other
That's
one.
good, 'cause
But
that's the
and it
one I
had
can
like
use for
sparklies.
exciting.
It was like iridescent ice cream too. Harper, who loves anything pink and sparkly,
It
was
was
like dying.
beautiful.
She loved it. So like we
That's
didn't, like I said, we
cute.
spent all day there and we got maybe a quarter of it done because they
Yeah.
just were like into the thing that they were doing. And as a parent, when you get to sit in the shade and your child is having fun, I ain't
Yeah.
about to go be like, let's go do something else. Like
We're
no.
not going to interrupt them. We're going to let them.
We're just
Yeah.
gonna let you do what you need to do there. So
You're happy in the water. Go play in the water.
yeah,
Yeah. Like,
so we're gonna go
be
back
free.
probably either one of these days, even like summer vacation, and I'll just bring like water shoes with me and a change of clothes
love
and be
that.
like, go children,
Yeah.
run.
Did
I
you
just
guys
like
watch?
that they.
Did you
I
guys
like
watch
that
the
they
show?
made it- Huh?
Did they watch the show?
Yeah.
No.
No, I know. I was gonna say the show too. I like that, and that's another thing I like. Like, I just like that the area has so many kind of like pockets
Yeah.
for kids. So like, there's an area where you can get wet, you can interact, you can meet characters,
Yeah.
which is more for adults. But
They
you don't
had
have to
Trolls out,
like in terms of
Shrek was
Shrek.
out. Mhm.
There's the playground. There's so much
Gabby.
fun. And then if you really want AC and entertainment, you can go and watch the DreamWorks show. Like,
Yep.
I
And
just
the
feel like there's so
show-
much.
The show is so good. It's
Yeah.
it's so much longer than I would have expected.
Yeah.
I was gonna say all of the characters were in it, and that's
Yeah.
what I loved. I loved that it was like it was not like character exclusive. It was like literally all the characters for all the movies. They like tied it in. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we'll do that next time. Like I said, they
That's a
are
great way to
having
get out of the heat,
so much
like-
fun.
Oh, thank God. I was overheating for sure. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I was texting Kristen. I was like, I'm overheating. I was like, I'm going to go sit in the show for a minute because it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a really nice cool down. I needed it. It was hot.
It was hot.
I love that. And I think it also, that area kind of helps Universal bridge the gap between, like, when you hear people talk about Universal, it's always, it's a park for teenagers, it's a park for adults, all the rides are big. And like, this really adds like the kid element, and
Yeah.
it's an area like I'd still enjoy because I don't like big rides, and I like meeting Shrek and Fiona and hearing the jokes and everything, and Donkey. But like, I also love a show, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's perfect. It's a perfect area, like Kristen said, where you can let your kids burn off energy. They're not stuck in a line on an iPad. Like,
Yeah.
they can
And
be
there's
free.
only another thing I really like about it is there's one way in and one way out.
Oh, that is nice.
So Kristen could, if she wanted to, she could literally sit at the entrance.
Yep.
Be like,
And let
all
her
right,
kids-
guys, go have fun at DreamWorks Land. Come back
Yeah.
to me when you're ready.
Yeah.
There is one
If
exit
mine were a
and one
little bit,
entrance.
like when mine get a little bit older,
Like 12.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of let them run around just that back panda area. Like I
area.
stayed on a bench under like an umbrella with
Right.
everybody's stuff because again, no stroller. And
Tragic.
and then Jamie kind of like would go here or he'd come back and sit with me, and like
Right.
they were just kind of bouncing between the two water areas. They'd put their shoes on, they'd go do the noodle bowl thing, then they'd come back and take their shoes off and go. Like, so just within that one area,
Yeah.
they kind of had free
They were
reign because I
bouncing.
could kind of sit there and watch them and see them from every angle, and that was like,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's so crazy because again, Universal has this reputation that it's like for teenagers and adults, and
Does.
but they really, I think, do playgrounds better than Disney. Camp Jurassic over there in
playgrounds good.
Islands,
So good.
my
They do
kids
playgrounds
could
good.
spend all day there. All day.
Mhm.
That's all they want to do. The second we walk into Islands, they're like, "Oh, can we go to the Jurassic
Playground.
Park playground?" I'm like, "All right." Like, and I don't mind spending a lot of time at a playground because it's not like I paid $3,000 and all you're doing is going down slides. Like, I'm fine with that.
Right.
Have fun and burn off that energy. But like, it's so bizarre to me that Disney has this reputation, and it's Universal that like understands that kids need to run around and burn off energy
Yeah.
or they're going to be complete monsters. So they give
And that's
us
what I was
that.
gonna say. If you have like a mixed family too, to your point, if you have teenagers, you can be with the little one in the Jurassic Park playground. Let your teenager go ride the water Jurassic
River
Adventure. Like, you can say, like, if your kid's like 16, 17, all right, you go ride this, walk them to the entrance, I'm gonna go take, and like to have that like diversity right there. Whereas my complaint with Disney recently has always been, we need more playgrounds. If you've watched any of the podcasts, you've heard me talk about how we need more playgrounds.
Yeah.
And you've heard me go over it 1,000 times. So I really think that you still, like, yes, even the family's paying $3,000. If they're a mixed family of different ages, you still want the playground.
Yeah.
Like, it's still important.
And some kids, like my daughter,
want to be alone anyways.
My daughter's like me and like Yolanda. Like she doesn't really like. I don't want to say she doesn't like ride. She does, but like they need to be low key.
Subtle.
Like she's not a coaster person.
Chill.
She doesn't like to be surprised. She doesn't, like a lot of even the dark rides. Sometimes like it's scary for kids to be like in the dark.
Yeah.
So like that's the stuff that she has fun doing, is like running around and playing in the water and swinging in swings and talking to other kids, and like that's what she likes to do to have fun. So okay, fine, it's a playground, but like that's what one of the members of my party needs to enjoy her day,
Yeah.
So like
it's a social experiment basically,
and they have it. They give you that for kids. So I'm there. They brought it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think it's important to have the different areas for adults, for kids, for people who don't enjoy thrills as much as that. And you also, like, just for accessibility wise too, not everyone can fit on rides. Not everyone can experience rides, whether they have, like, if they have epilepsy, if you have, like, I have friends with just different things.
Yes.
My mom uses a wheelchair. My mom also doesn't fit in a lot of, so my mom loves thrills. Like she fits on Splash Mountain. She loves it. A lot of the Universal rides she doesn't fit on, but we went a couple years ago all together, and she had so much fun in Harry Potter World. Like, she loved exploring Harry Potter World and all the like magic and stuff that she was able to do. So it's just like, you still need like those kind of pockets, those areas where like you don't have to be going upside down, like
yeah,
absolutely.
Can we talk about the Shrexel real quick, because the Shrek pretzel with the green cheese, oh my god,
was it good?
It was so good. It was a fresh pretzel.
I was gonna say Shrexel versus Mickey pretzel. Which one is fresh?
The Mickey pretzel to me tastes like plastic, and then you get the plastic cheese with it, so you know what to expect. This one is like a fresh pretzel. It's hot when they hand it to you. The cheese is hot and gooey, and it's like the specific green, so it's not like a plastic cheese.
I do love that. Yeah. They had to make it. Yeah,
they had to make it. Yeah, they actually made it. They made it green to like goo Shrek, and it was
spinach powder that makes it green. It's not unhealthy. That's the other thing.
It's not a dye.
Nope.
See?
Wow.
Like, they actually make it, and it was so good. And then also the pops, the ice pops, the donkey
so cute.
Pops, the Shrek pop. They're so cute. They're so good.
I was gonna say, how was the apple one? The Shrek one. The Shrek is like
good.
It's literally his body. Like,
it tasted like So the Shrek apple one, it tasted like an apple Jolly Rancher.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. And then the donkey one, he was chocolate. He tasted like a fudgesicle.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fun.
They were both really good,
and their packaging
is
so cute.
The packaging is so cute, and it stays in the packaging. Like, I could literally do this, and it's not gonna break.
Stays there.
It's not gonna break. Like, you do that to a Mickey bar, and it's gonna fall into pieces.
Yeah.
You do it to the Shrek, and they are like sealed in that packaging, and the packaging has like cute little fun facts on the back. So
and
cute.
It also seemed like they opened the land like not officially early, but my friend has an annual pass, and she just kind of like went in early too. Like, so it seemed like they were just openly testing the area, kind of letting people wander.
I tried to get a preview. I wasn't able to get a preview, and I was like, well, that's kind of lame, whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm going to Universal anyway. Let me just go up and ask. So I went up and I was like, hey, is there any way I can like go into the, like, it doesn't look too busy, like it would be okay if I walked in? And they were like, oh, is it just you? And I was like, yeah, it's just me. And they were like, yeah, come on. They like let me in with my annual, because I had an annual pass, so it wasn't like I wasn't in a pass holder.
And you tried to get a preview. It's not your fault that like
I tried to get a preview. It timed me out. It didn't work. I had like 1 or 2 minutes left of my like waiting time, and it was like, nope, sorry, all full. And I was like, oh, well, that's lame.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they let me in.
And I've heard too that other people
with her, she has an annual pass too.
That they went up and they were like,
I was gonna say, my friend, she with the annual pass, but she has like a toddler, and they let both of them in. She didn't have a preview. They let
it wasn't busy. It wasn't overly crowded. Honestly, I would have rather them like cut it to where, it's less people, and then you just go up and ask and they let you in, instead of them being like overly packed and being like, absolutely not, there's too many people in here.
No.
I would rather it be the way that it happened to me, where I didn't get one and they were like, oh yeah, sure, come on in.
And you're able to
Because then it's
walk
like, ooh, I'm magical now.
Yeah.
Well, and it just gives the illusion that they're like helping you, you know what I mean? Even if that's the policy, like, okay, we cut it and we're gonna let people in, like, it just gives the illusion that like they're helping you out and like they're listening to you.
It felt that way.
They're doing you a solid.
I was so appreciative.
You feel valued, like,
Yeah,
it's true.
So
no, it's very true.
Nice. So DreamWorks Land, two very enthusiastic thumbs up. They did a wonderful job.
They did good. So good.
Yep. The next thing is the parade.
The parade. Mega movie parade.
Which I am a parade stan.
Me too.
So when I think I had mentioned it, but when I went to Tokyo Disneyland, not Tokyo Seas, other than the bear making me cry, the only other thing that made me cry was the daytime parade. Okay? I don't know why. That's what got me.
Love parade.
I love a parade. I love a float. I love dancers, stilt walkers. Parades are fun. Okay? There's stuff to look at. I loved it. When I saw the E.T. float and the Ghostbusters float for this parade, I nearly lost my mind.
The Back to the Future float.
Back to the Future.
Okay, but there's a Back to the Future
movie is. I wonder if anybody can guess what my favorite movie is. If you're not watching this, I'm showing my Back to the Future float.
And I think there's something to be said that like Disney took away a bunch of nostalgia, and then Universal was like, what are our biggest nostalgia hits? And then made a show and a parade.
Yep.
And a tribute store.
A show and a tribute store.
The tribute stories.
When I go into the tribute store, okay, so here's the thing. My favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. I've always loved it. I was watching it the first time my husband messaged me. He reached out to me.
I didn't know that. That's cute.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
So I remember I was living at home at the time. I just moved back from California, and I was like sitting on my bed, and Back to the Future was on because it's my favorite movie. So
it's a great movie.
Someone's messaged me when Back to the Future's on because it's always on. And he messaged me, and that like the first one of the first conversations that we ever had. And so I love it for that reason. And during the pandemic, I watched all 3 movies every single day. I was running my own business, so I was home and I needed the noise. So just the trilogy, she was on all the time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just cause.
So like for me to have like my favorite movie that means so much to me actually represented somewhere where I can like see new merchandise for it and see like that doesn't happen for me very often because the things that I like are usually listen, we started a whole company about niche things that don't get represented very often. Yeah. So like the things that I love are generally kind of not well known and not represented very much. Yeah. So to have something that I love like be featured in such a huge way, I lose my mind. And it's not just Back to the Future. Like I love the original Ghostbusters movies. Yeah, Jessie knows this about me. E.T. has always really freaked me out.
Love E.T.
But it's my own fault because I watched it when I was like 6 years old, like on the green VHS tape, which I'm sure most of you are too young to remember that, but my old ass remembers it.
I have a whole box of VHS tapes.
Yeah, so she was green around it. So I remember watching it on a green VHS tape and being freaked out. But again, like I was 6. I actually watched it the other day. My husband put it on. And I actually really enjoyed it. I was like,
thank you. It's so good. It's so good.
Here I am, rated all these years, and here I am at 41.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
When they dress him up in the closet, I literally have a headband. It was the one thing I bought from Universal Japan.
I love it.
I was like, I actually was like getting teary-eyed at the end, and I was like, who am I? What is happening to me?
So good. It's a classic.
It's a classic. So I just think it's so amazing that they're like Yolanda said, they're like, you know what? Do you love
these are our goals
that make you remember being a child? Here they are.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Here's new merch around your favorite movie, which is 35 years old. Here you go. Like, what?
Literally. And then for them to bring in a whole parade too, and then they also put it in their new water show, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "This is freaking awesome."
The parade is
wild because like their use of outside characters, like them having the mayor next to the Jaws float, and them having
my God.
They didn't just have like it's not just the floats. They have characters from the movies walking alongside the float, interacting with people.
Yeah.
Like it's just so good, like, and like that's
for the Back to the Future part. They have like Back to the Future 2, when like Biff's cronies are like, hoverboards don't float on water, right? And they get like the bulldog out, and like they have like, they're really dressed very odd, right? Like they have like, one has a mohawk. Like that's the vibe of those characters walking around. So again, it's like such a niche part of that series of movies that if you don't know, you wouldn't necessarily know that's the look they're going for. But as somebody who is literally decked out and has Back to the Future tattoos, like to see that, I was like, no. No, like it's just so cool the way they did it.
And it's another big sign of like how well they know their audience.
And can we also talk about how freaking realistic the dinosaur looks for the Jurassic Park
He's got like spit in his mouth.
Yeah, I saw that. He has like slime on the side of his mouth. Like
literally when he growls, there's the slime in the inside of his mouth. I was like, is he real? Or
it's crazy. And it's
so
not
good.
like they haven't had a parade either. They've still had different like activations and stuff. Like they had like a Life of Pets float, everything like that. But like to you said, to know that like there is still people who want to consume these movies and who would get excited about it and put so much money into bringing it to life.
Yeah.
And then while simultaneously bringing an area for their kids to life.
Imagine that. Listening to your audience.
So good. And the fact, like, even in the tribute store, how they have, like, not just merchandise, but food relating to the old movies. Like, there's an ET cake.
There's a DeLorean cookie and taking
I saw that and I loved it. I thought
pictures
it was
of it.
So cute.
I bought that cookie and I literally walked it over to the DeLorean and I sat there. My kids were like, can we go? Because I was taking a million pictures of this DeLorean cookie in front of this DeLorean. And I was like, yeah,
they're really
for work,
good pictures,
but
though.
it's also the background on my phone right now because I love the picture that I took so much.
I love that.
That's great.
Well, there you go.
It's a good picture. That's what I said. It was a really good picture.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like before we go into like sensational everything, how you were saying about the tribute store, for anyone who doesn't know, they change that out 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And they don't make it like how Kristen was like, oh, here's a Coke store with like cherry chapstick. It's not like that. It's crazy. Each store has like a theme. Right now, it's literally an old Blockbuster arcade type thing. It's crazy.
There's a whole Blockbuster section with an arcade. And then there's like the movie scenes at the end, and you're like,
no.
And
my millennial heart cannot even handle it. Even my husband.
Another thing is how well
older than me,
they recycle.
Yeah.
Like, so you know how you were saying like part of it's a video game store, right? So like 3 Halloween Horror Nights ago, that was like the theme was that they had like come out of the video games and they had these neon. I'll try and find a picture. They had these like neon video game things set up on the sides of like the entrance, and then stilt walkers that had like neon that matched it. And that's the same video games that they just put them in the tribute store. So that's Universal does that a lot of the time where they'll save set pieces and then like recycle them.
Amazing.
Apparently,
it's so smart.
I missed out on this because I totally would have done it. But the pictures that they have on the front of the VHS boxes in that part of the tribute store, they had people, like they offered it to people. So if you go in, the people went in and took those pictures. They're like family pictures, and then they put them on the cover of the VHS. So you could, if you did it as a family, like you can go in and be like, this is my VHS. Like, so they found a way for people to pay for it too. Like, how genius is that?
Yeah.
They're like, you pay us to decorate our tribute store, and we'll like it's like it's genius the way they do that. And again, as somebody who like was born in the early 80s, my butt would have been all over that. But like if I had known to do it,
100%.
Like, I would have been like, come on kids, we're going to get our picture on the cover of a VHS tape. Like,
But it's so wild to me because they're doing all that just to trash it at the end of August and build a Halloween one.
Yeah.
Like they did all of that. They put that much, and then they just scrap it. They just and they do it again, and they put the money into that just for us to walk around and buy stuff. Like Kristen said, like for the Epic Preview Center, like just for us to like walk around and buy stuff. Like
I mean, and even a little off topic, I'm gonna switch to islands real quick because even that Hollow store, the All Hallows Eve store,
by where the old Poseidon, yes.
So even that store, they change out the same every 4 times a year. They also retheme that one every single time.
But it always has like a spooky vibe to it. So it's like spooky Christmas.
Always
spooky summer.
Always spooky. Spooky summer, spooky Christmas. So this one is like the spooky tiki room. Like
I saw that.
It's a tiki lounge. And it's like the old monsters like serving drinks. It is so freaking cool. I look forward to seeing that one every single time I go.
And to be doing all of this while simultaneously designing new gift shops for a whole new park when you come off rides. Like, that's what I mean, is they're doing all of this simultaneously. Like,
I know. And it's always new ideas. It's not like it's something old. Like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a blockbuster. What?
Yeah. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I
know. My favorite store yet was the Mardi Gras store, I think 2 years ago, where each room you got more and more into how they made the floats. And so the first room was the drawing, the next room was like forming the foam and everything.
I remember
and a lot
that.
of the figures like came from Mardi Gras World, and I moved from here, so I just I was really partial to that store. But the Christmas Harry Potter one, you walked into the Goblet of Fire,
that one
the
was
ball.
cool.
That one was cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I've loved every single one of them. There isn't a single one that I've walked into that I've been like, meh.
No, they're all
single one that I have walked into, I'm in some sort of awe. And some sort of what?
When I got to the last room of this tribute store where they have like the clock tower on the one wall and the Jaws boat, and then they have the Ghostbuster scene, and then E.T. Like, I had tears in my eyes because, like, again, I remember, I remember this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I was just a kid when these movies came out. I was, like I said, I was born in the early '80s. Like, I can't like, to go feel like what it's like to be in a blockbuster again, and to see like the clock tower from my favorite movie. Like, I like the emotion, and then just the merchandise, by the way, is the coolest stuff. They have like a Slimer sweater that I'm like, coming back for you. They have a Back to the Future like fanny, like crossbody bag, coming back for you. Like, I was like, I'm gonna get my next paycheck and I'm just gonna go and like mortgage what? No, I'm going to buy Back to the Future merchandise.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'm that, and I'm forever obsessed with the just the way that they're willing to kind of like do that. Like, I don't know. The way that they're willing to put that into a store. Like,
just a store for like 4 months.
Is wild. And it has such a big following. Like, the tribute stores now, they really do have such a big following because
we get a lot of content out of every iteration of it because there's so many details.
I look forward to the tribute store every time.
I don't even think we made one for this one yet. I think we have to do that still.
We have the footage, but we didn't make it yet.
There's just so much going on. It's like we are having a hard time keeping up with everything because there's
the tribute store is amazing, but it's like the parade kind of went whoop.
Oh yeah.
Like, up
and
here.
the show. Yeah.
And the show, which we haven't made one for either.
Yeah, I know. We still need to do that. So yeah, I saw the show on Saturday for the first time. And I think I'm the only one that got the full experience because Jessie saw it, but it was raining when she saw it, so they didn't do the drones at the very least. We don't know what else they kind of out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I definitely still had fireworks. I still had projections and everything. But yeah, I don't know what I missed. Right. So, but it was amazing from what I saw, and it's long.
Yeah, it's 23 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's long. I was like, oh, I'll stand here in the rain for like 15 minutes, whatever, it's fine. And I was like,
keeps going.
Yeah. So the show celebrates like musical film scores that make these movies iconic. So for the Jaws part, they play that dun and they show like it, when I tell you it incorporates every single trick in the book. They have like the water projections like they do in Phantasmic where like they spray the film of water and then they project an image on it. They use projection imaging on the back of the buildings behind the show. They use fireworks, they use fountains, they use fire, they use drones. Like, they literally were like, you know what? We don't need to choose. Why limit ourselves? Let's do all of it.
Everything.
In one show. And it is my personal opinion and that of my husband that this show was better than anything I've seen at Disney World in the last maybe 5 years, at least. Possibly even more. Yeah. New stuff. Yeah. Obviously, Illumination
I said when I saw footage of it
here, but that's gone now. Yeah. So we've mourned that loss.
It's hard because I automatically compared it. I was telling them I compared it to Luminous.
That's the newest
right away because Luminous is done on water. It's kind of the same. Right. And it's not that. It's Luminous is literally it's just fireworks and music and laser. But like this is crazy. And there's fire on the water. There's there's so much.
Talking about
Phantasmic. It's Phantasmic mixed with Luminous, mixed with Dreams That Soar, plus other features that we don't even have.
It's that. Yeah.
Yeah. And crazy. Then, like I was saying, going back to just the nostalgia of it. So like Jaws, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. And then they do, like, there was a Trolls part and a Shrek part.
Shrek and Trolls.
Like,
yes.
So
Yeah.
all of the, like, stuff that my kids...
Harry Potter's in there.
Yeah.
Monsters is in there.
Oh, yeah, the Universal Monsters are in there. They just, like, just every base, they were, like, covered. It was so good. I had tears in my eyes. It was just, like, my kids...
Yeah.
I have not seen that look on their faces. I mean, we saw World of Color maybe 2 years ago when we were in Disneyland as a family. I think that was like the closest I got to what they, but like every time it would like switch to another movie that they knew, which they knew most of them because my kids know kind of these old, like their faces, and they were like as a parent, like, my husband and I kept like hitting each other. We're like, look
at them.
Because just to see them so happy, like,
yeah,
I do love that.
That's so cute.
10 out of 10, no notes.
I love that. Since really Kristen and Jessie are the only one that can review that one, that's why I'm just like...
Yeah, I want to go back for I want to see it again, obviously, with my family, but I also, like, want to go for work and just, like, stream it live on the We Do Travel Right Instagram, because I think it's such a good show to do that, like, because it's long, first of all, and it's just such a good, like, I think people will enjoy it so much. I think... I don't think you, because I've seen clips of it here and there, but like, I mean, to see it,
not the whole show because it's so long.
To see it in person is really something. Amazing. So like, I would love to go and like stream that live over there, or even on the niche page. Like, we'll do Jessie and I'll go together. She'll do one and I'll do the other one.
Yeah,
like
we'll do both.
Because I mean, again, like to watch it start to finish it's so good.
Yeah. I need to see it again. And it's like full form, you know, because I didn't get the full, but what I did get was pretty cool. So
the drones add a lot.
I was also
like
wet.
I know for like the Back to the Future
I was also wet and cold. So.
They like have the lightning, like they show lightning and it strikes the clock tower that they have projected on the back buildings, which is like the coolest thing. You know,
which is crazy.
For the Jaws, I love that they have like the shark. He swims on the screens, like they have the screen pop up, and the shark goes by, and then he goes back, and then he comes out, and all the water turns
He swam
red.
on the buildings too, in the back.
So cool.
Like.
So he gets closer. He swims on the building. Yeah.
It's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. The way they like adjusted their screens, just so good.
So yeah, I mean,
but anyways, we're very passionate about everything creatively that everything Universal is doing.
I don't have a single bad thing to say.
Yeah. Nope.
And the shade in the kids area. Okay.
I'm like, anybody?
Sorry, I just when she said shade, I was like, there we go. There,
and fans.
We have it. The shade.
And it's not
shade
accidental shade. Like, they put umbrellas over benches. It's like, it was a thought. It wasn't like, oh, it's under a tree, it'll be fine when the sun's here. It was like, oh no, we need shade for these people. And so they like
give the parents
went and did that.
Shade. Yeah, I know. It's bizarre. But, I mean, that's it for Universal. We don't have a
Universal trip planned, think
you need
about
to do that.
Because...
Yeah.
I like that. Think about adding it.
Think about it.
Yeah, because it is so amazing.
And a lot of
are just in
summer
awe.
stuff, I think the parade goes until, I want to say
end of August?
No, I want to say it's like November. I feel like they keep it going.
Oh, really? It's that late?
One of the things they keep going like into the fall, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I did know the dates and then right out of my...
Not anymore. Yeah.
But...
I know, but it's so cool. Everything about it was just amazing. Yeah. But all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your following.
Yes.
And we'll see you eventually.
See you soon.
We don't know when. See you soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.
I was about to leave.